Surface Duo and xCloud, that should be peanut butter and jelly, right? Happy Surface Duo Day, everybody. Microsoft is officially launching the Surface Duo, and if you want a review of this hardware in a traditional kind of way or whatever, just look on this channel. I did one earlier today, and that's all you need to know. But on this particular video, we are focusing on gaming on the Surface Duo because Microsoft next week is going to be launching xCloud, and Microsoft, if you're watching this, is going to be slapping me about and saying you should be calling it cloud gaming and not xCloud, but we all know what xCloud is coming into general availability next week. But you can play it today in the Game Pass beta application, and that is what I have done. And there's some good things and there's some bad things, and there's a lot of hope here, but not a lot of execution, and you'll see what I mean. So we're going to roll through some B-roll while I talk about the experience, but here's the idea, right? You have Surface Duo, which can be folded into many different postures, and postures are just kind of like setups, you know, maybe like a tent, like a book, you have it closed, you have it open, or whatever you want to call it. And so you can play Duo, or you can play xCloud on the Duo using a Bluetooth controller or a clip or anything else, but we'll get to that in a minute because there's a lot to talk about there. And then just play your xCloud games. Now, we all know how well or xCloud works, as I say, or doesn't work for some people depending on your latency, but xCloud overall is a really good experience. And again, I always use Ori because I think Ori is one of the perfect examples of how xCloud can be perfect while you're traveling on the road. And so running the game on the Duo, not a problem. The challenge has become is that Microsoft's app is not optimized for the Duo. Now, in full transparency, like I said, this is the beta app. It's technically launching next week, so the experience could change. But I think Microsoft, actually, I know that Microsoft at this point is just squashing bugs. They're not going to introduce a completely new overhauled experience by next week. Next week, it will have just a little more spit and polish and less bugginess. That being said, there's a lot of potential here, but not a lot of execution because the xCloud app only takes advantage of one screen, which means that you don't get any benefit from running it on multiple displays, and you also don't get any sort of benefit of using it in what I like to call the Nintendo 3DS mode. And so here's how it works right now. The best way to play xCloud on your Surface Duo is just with a Bluetooth controller and putting it into the tent posture, which is not that one, it's actually the first one in the video. That is the optimal way to play because as you see here in what I call the 3DS posture, it doesn't take advantage of having two displays, which is really disappointing because we all know the dream of having, hey, your content on the top display and the controller experience down on the glass on the bottom, and you can play any game on xCloud anywhere in the world, you know, with connectivity, much like a Nintendo 3DS. But that right there, what you're looking at is the optimal way to play with the Duo. You fold it in half, you put it on a table, you connect your Bluetooth controller, and you play a game. And it is fine. Like there's no issue with that. It's just that there's so much potential here, and Microsoft hasn't utilized or recognized it yet. Now, can I blame Microsoft for that? Well, let's put it into perspective. Today, the Surface Duo is launching. And so the people using xCloud on a Surface Duo are going to represent 0.0000001%. I'm probably one of the only people as of this video running xCloud on a Surface Duo, and everybody else is using a more traditional phone, your Samsung Galaxy S20s, that type of a style of phone. And so to build out and take development time from the launch experience to optimize for the very minimal and underutilized, Surface Duo isn't going to be the right maneuver. I totally understand. Now, the goal here is that Microsoft will watch this video and say, hey, Brad, we recognize that. We recognize how awesome it can be, and we're going to go out and build it because the Surface Duo could be the only thing that you need because that is all that it's all there in the same package, and xCloud doesn't take advantage of that. And it's a little disappointing only because Microsoft obviously makes xCloud or cloud gaming, and Microsoft also makes the Duo, and they had the chance to launch a home run here with this experience. I still think it might come. I have no idea. That's just me hedging because it's such a unique advantage that Microsoft could potentially offer and help sell Surface Duos, candidly. But we will see, because the problem here with the xCloud on the Duo is that, well, you've only got one option. And what I mean by that is, so you might be saying, but Brad, all you got to do is you just got to put it into a clip, right? And I've got one right here. I've got a clip. I don't know if I can do this on the video. It's a little difficult. So you can pull this thing up. It's kind of like spring loaded. And then just plop the Duo in there and you can play it. No, the problem is that the Duo, you can't quite see it, but the Duo is too big. And so what happens here is the top part of this clip wants to grab onto the back of a phone. But because of the way the Duo is shaped, is that it can't actually bite into this and actually get a hold. So that doesn't work. But well, what about the Razer Kishi? You quite like that? You're right, I do quite like that. It's the best way to play xCloud on a mobile device. You got the springy mechanism, it should work, but it doesn't because of how this is tapered here or kind of curved to kind of cocoon your smartphone. It doesn't fit into the Duo. The Duo is just way too big and it's just no dice. It's not happening. So realistically, you've only got one option for playing xCloud on the Duo, and that is in this posture right here, the tent posture. You just plop it down like that, you pick up your controller, and then you're Bluetoothing away, which is fine, but we all know the issues with Bluetooth, but it works really, really well with Ori. Ori is the game I will probably always use to demonstrate this. Now, you can also see here, if I can get it to work, is that, like I said, when I showed in the video, like it doesn't make sense to make it full screen because then you have that massive bar. I don't know if it's going to respect the rotation. No, it doesn't really respect the rotation all that well. There's some general bugginess in the app, and that is I'm expected to be fixed. What I'm trying to say here is that the Surface Duo and xCloud, the potential is massive there, and Microsoft hasn't fully recognized or realized the potential. I'm sure they recognize it, but they haven't executed the steps needed so that you can pick it up and just play Ori just like this. That would be really, really cool because that is a really good gaming experience, and it's not quite there yet. So if you were planning on buying the Surface Duo because you're thinking, hey, this is going to be the premier way to play xCloud, the answer is no, it's not, at least not yet. If you want the best Xbox experience, grab yourself just your standard vanilla phone, grab this Razer Kishi, and that is how you should be playing xCloud. For now, there's still a lot left on the table to make the Duo and xCloud work better together, but the future could be really bright if Microsoft takes advantage of what they've already got.